Yos! 皆さん、おはようございます. And, well, it's good afternoon now, but technically you would say konbanwa, but either way though, everyone, why hello there. I'm the Kumo Sensei, and, yeah, today we're doing a re-stream. We're trying again, because the last stream, the internet kind of crashed on us, so this time around, I'm hoping it's a little bit better. But without further ado, guys, we are talking about anime in general, especially with live actions, and One Piece, obviously. And yeah, I had to actually private or pretty much get rid of the last live stream that we had because it wasn't going too well. So I'm hoping this one does a little bit better. But anyhow though, how's it going, everyone? Hello there, John Knight. It's good to see you again. And man, congrats on that Blu-ray though. I promise you, man, my Barnes & Noble does not carry anything as of now. It's pretty empty at my Barnes & Noble. But it's great to see that you gotten something amazing at least. So, hey, kudos to you. Man, my Barnes & Noble, like, I don't technically shop at Barnes & Noble because, to be honest, I don't really buy light novels at Barnes & Noble. I usually just go on Amazon and just bundle everything together and just buy it that way, just to save money at times. But to each their own, right? In terms of preferences on what they want to buy and what they do to buy light novels and whatnot. Which is why I don't really shop at Barnes & Noble, and not to mention their stock and the series they carry for their light novels and manga typically rotates to an extent. So I really just like to work where it works best for me. But yeah, though, congrats on your thing though. It's all on the Discord. I still do check out Discord, guys. I don't know why people think I'm not active on there. But anyhow though, let us get straight into the topic. We're talking about live action adaptations, guys. So the One Piece live action is actually relatively good, which is interesting to say. The one thing I think it gets done right is that it adapts the core of the characters, but it doesn't adapt the entire anime persona as a whole. Because you have to understand, adapting anime personas isn't really a good idea for the live action screen, even for both Western audiences and Japanese audiences, because we're going to talk about Japanese live action adaptations as well. Because I feel like people turn over the shoulder when it comes to Japanese live action anime adaptations. Some are pretty bad and some are not so great. So we're going to talk about that. And I found a better tier list looking at actual anime live action Japanese anime adaptations. But yeah, allow me to pull it up now, guys, because I couldn't find a good tier list, and then I had to ask, which I rarely do nowadays, and they delivered on this tier list. So let us check this out. It doesn't have everything, but it has most things. So yeah, let us look at this tier list, guys. Alright. So this is the tier list the improved tier list, quote unquote. It even has the Japanese live action adaptations, such as Bakuman, what else? Azumi, and all of these here. So this one here is going to be a much more interesting treat, quote unquote. And trust me, I can't even see the pictures here, so I'm kind of looking pretty rough right now, just to kind of see what I'm looking at. But I'm going to be honest, a lot of these series I have not yet seen, so I don't really, yeah. So let us adjust this. This is S tier. Like, GOAT. That's pure, that's simple as that. This is A tier, which I would say great, and would rewatch probably. Let's consider this B tier. This is once in a while rewatch, I guess. Once in a while rewatch. Okay, that looks better. C is not watch again, unless someone puts it on. Don't mind, then. How was your Labor Day? My Labor Day was actually not great, believe it or not. I did not have any time off when it comes to the spider work. So, believe it or not, yesterday I was actually feeding spiders, and I'm prepping for today, actually. This is why I can't stream too long today, because yesterday was prep work, and then the day before that was essentially getting stuff down, and then which preps for yesterday. Yesterday I was preparing for actual rehousing because I got these baby tarantulas behind me that need to be rehoused. As a matter of fact, I'm still rehousing a lot of tarantulas, and I posted a video on my Laxo channel, if you want to go check it out later, of my tarantula work while I'm rehousing some tarantulas. And today I gotta rehouse more tarantulas, which is honestly, oh man, it is a pain in the butt. But yeah, I did not have a not so great labor weekend. It was more of prep work. But anyhow though, this is the D tier. We will consider this the bad. Like, bad will not rewatch. And this is, we'll make an F tier actually. Let's not put a D tier. I'll put this as an F tier. Bad will not rewatch. Oh. Bless myself. And this is haven't seen. I'm going to add an extra tier, believe it or not. And I have a reason for this. I'm going to call this enjoyable garbage. Like, this is something that... Dude. I'm going to call this bottom tier enjoyable garbage doo-doo. It's like... It's horrible, but I just rewatch it because it's hilariously bad. So, this is our tier list. S tier is GOAT. Like, I can't rewatch these, period, without an issue. A tier is great, and I would rewatch once in a while. B tier, and would rewatch often. My bad. B tier is once in a while rewatch. C tier, I would not watch again unless someone puts it on, which I wouldn't mind then, but I wouldn't go out of my way to actually watch it. And then F tier is just garbage. Like, I cannot rewatch them. It's just impossible. And then there's enjoyable garbage doo-doo, which is essentially really bad live actions that are so bad it's funny. And then this last one here is haven't seen. So this is our tier list now. Alrighty. So, I guess we'll start with the first one here. Speed Racer. I am, gosh. Okay, hold up. I have seen Speed Racer, like, way back when it was released. But I didn't even know it was an anime. Because this is like a 70s, 60s anime, which got into a live action in 2008. I'll be honest, this one here has aged much better. I'll put this as C tier. Speed Racer, I will not watch again, but if somebody puts it on, I wouldn't mind. Because, honestly, this one has aged much better than I expected, believe it or not. When Speed Racer came out in 2008, it was redeemed as garbage. Nobody will actually bat an eye to this abomination, quote unquote. But over time, this one has become mediocre. And I think the reason why is because as time went on, more live actions came out that are worse than Speed Racer. So it only makes sense that this will get better over time as more garbage comes out. So this is C tier. I probably most likely would not watch again, but if somebody puts it on their TV, I wouldn't mind watching it. And don't roast me for that, guys. That's just my personal thoughts. Sakurada Reset. So this is Sakurada Reset. I've actually have not watched this movie completely because it's only in Japan exclusive theaters, which you can pirate for some people. I don't pirate. I'll be honest, man. This is a very mediocre, like, like this is a pretty bland movie. Sakura to Reset is actually a really decent time traveling or time resetting anime, but the live action in itself is pretty flat. And the reason why is because of the issue of they keep using freaking amateur actors or freaking idols and fashion people to actually do the acting, not actual professionals. This drives me nuts. You'll see this common trend as we look more into these Japanese live action adaptations. I'm going to mention this over and over again. A lot of these characters, the reason why they're so poorly portrayed, and I'm an actor, I know, it's not because they're the worst actors, it's because they're amateur actors, or they come from a different field entirely. Because they always want to use the handsome, good-looking people, and they never want to focus on actual acting talent. So this is going to become a very common trend. Cheyenne Freeman. This is a anime adaptation? I will not watch this again. Mark Dacascos, I respect you, man. For those who don't know, Mark Dacascos is... I think everybody knows him for Iron Chef. So if you've never seen the movie not the movie, but the TV show Iron Chef, then you probably don't know Mark Dacascos. But Mark Dacascos, he's an OG. Like, his stunts are okay, I guess. But I will not rewatch this because it's old school. No offense to Western adaptations, but this one here is an F tier, though. I will not rewatch this again. I didn't even know this was adapted from something. Next is Alita Battle Angel. Hello there, Marco. So, Alita Battle Angel... This is between... Look, I'm not gonna lie. There are some scenes I'll probably rewatch, but this is like between C and B tier. Like... I'm gonna keep this a C tier if I'm being honest. I do rewatch some of the clips on YouTube, but I will not rewatch the movie entirely. But if somebody is if somebody puts it on their TV, definitely sit down and chill and watch with you guys. But there goes that. Kingdom. I am not a fan of Kingdom's live action. This is, oh god. This is a problem where it's not a bad adaptation, it's just horrible actors, man. I'm going to make a new tier, actually. Let's add a row below. Let's call this the D tier. Just bad actors. And, mediocre slash bad. Something like that, I guess. Wow, it doesn't even... The D goes down here. Okay, let's enter that. Wow, that even looks worse. Holy crap. There we go. It's bad actors and mediocre. We're just gonna leave it like this, I guess. I'm gonna put Kingdom here. Okay, Kingdom has a lot of great looking actors, but this is the problem with Japanese live actions. A lot of these actors are amateurs. Hear me out. This is a common trend in Japanese live actions. They keep using amateur actors, so the portrayal of these characters is not typically the best. Especially for the romance series. I'm gonna roast on the romance series. I have personal biases. Like, it's not going down, I promise you that. Rurouni Kenshin 3 is okay. I'll put this one at A tier. So, John Knight's giving out the birthdays and everything. So, Rurouni Kenshin 3, this one is okay. The first one is actually the best one in my personal opinion. But this is still an A tier. It's a lower A tier, maybe a B tier, but I'm gonna leave this at A for now. Orange! Oh, okay, here. This is a personal bias of mine, but I really want to put this at freaking F tier, but this is a D tier, man. I hope Kuroshitsuji is in the top. Oh boy, you're gonna hear a lot of biases from me because I have a lot to say. Orange, all of these freaking live actions from Japan, they all suffer from the same dumb problem. Poor actors. Good looking actors with horrible talent. And oh my gosh, man. I think the best example is Oshinoko. If you watch the anime, and you got to the part where they're filming the live action TV series adapted from a manga, you got to that part in Oshinoko, you understand what I'm coming from. But anyhow, though, Fullmetal Alchemist is F tier. I absolutely hate this live action. Everything about it is just wrong. Because the core characters do not have the core elements that makes them a character in this live action. And hear me out. The main focus of Fullmetal Alchemist live action from Netflix was that they're focusing more so on the story beats, not on the character beats or the character story arcs. So you're just kind of thrown into the mix, and they're just giving you live actions like the main big stuff that happens in the anime into the live action. And the worst part about this is that if you're coming into Fullmetal Alchemist, this live action, if you're not an anime fan who has seen the live action, who has seen the anime, my bad, or if you have not even heard of Fullmetal Alchemist, you're going to be so confused with this movie. It's bad. This is a pure F tier. Like, for real. Lupin the Third, I have not seen this yet. This one I have yet to see. I don't know what this one is. This is Bakuman. This is a C tier. Like, the Bakuman live action, it's fine. I think this... I'm not gonna lie. Bakuman works better as an anime than a live action. This live action isn't that bad now that I think about it. That's kind of funny to say. What makes it work is that it's a live action. Like, but what doesn't make it work is that it's a live action. What I'm getting at is that Bakuman, on paper, it works as a live... It does work as a live action. But at the same time, the charm of the characters doesn't come well together in this live action. And it's not... I'm not gonna lie, some of the acting is not that great. But the overall principle of Bakuman and the manga industry... It's there. This is a solid C tier. I wouldn't rewatch this again, but if somebody puts it on their TV, or if somebody wants to watch it and needs somebody to watch it with them, I wouldn't mind, I guess. This, I have yet to see. I don't know what this is. Sky High. I've only seen one person talk about this once, and that was it. So I have yet to see this. JoJo. This is pure corny, man. Here's the thing about this JoJo live action. The characters don't look too accurate because it's JoJo, come on. But the corniness is there. This is like... Okay, I love JoJo. I might have a little bit of a bias. Some of the acting kind of falls flat. But the upbeats and the notes of like what makes JoJo so good is there in this live action. Diamonds Unbreakable live action is actually very solid, believe it or not. It's not perfect, but it does it very well. This is like the same vibes I get from Tokyo Ghoul's live action. But I like this better than Tokyo Ghoul's live action. As a matter of fact, I don't think much people have seen the Tokyo Ghoul live action mask of Kaneki. Kaneki's mask in the live action is not human teeth. It's instead it's all fangs. It looks so strange. Oh my gosh. Black Butler. This is a solid D tier, man. I'm gonna be so biased when putting this at D tier. And here's my reasoning why. The acting is so... Oh gosh. I am not a fan of what they did to this live action. Because I forgot the guy's name, but the guy who plays as Sebastian, he's actually a fashion model. So they hired a fashion model to do acting. This is common. A lot of a lot of Japanese celebrities have a vast portfolio. So so for example, you would think that an actor's job is only to act, but in Japan they will do acting, singing, freaking modeling, and everything, the whole 9 yards. Heck, there are even some chefs that are actually actors. Like, oh man. People need to understand that the Japanese industry is very different from how you would think it is from a Western perspective. It's not a good portrayal of Sebastian. Some of the beats is there, but the acting I'm not a fan of. Look, now granted, these people will act better than I can. They're better actors than me, obviously. But it's just that, like, oh man. They need to do better. That's just my personal bias here. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is either. I can't really see that. Is that the... Sorry guys, I cannot even see these images myself, so I'm gonna skip the ones I can't see. This one I have yet to see. I know what this is. I forgot what it's called, but Dragon Ball Evolution is enjoyable garbage doo-doo. Like I'm gonna be honest, guys. When it goes to Dragon Ball Evolution, this is a very horrible live action. But it's so enjoyably bad. I can... This is worse than the F tier, but it's enjoyable to where you can rewatch it and just laugh at how bad it is. So, I'm gonna tell you a bit of some history behind Dragon Ball Evolution. So, the director who made Dragon Ball Evolution, till this day, in his mail, he still gets messages from people or from angry fans literally telling him how much they hate it and how much they hate him. And it's honestly kind of sad. Like, all these years, even now, he still get hate messages through mail. Like, actual, mail. Not just emails, not just messages sent on Twitter and whatnot. Like, actual fan mail. It is surprising. Dragon Ball Evolution has a very interesting, back history, I guess. But this garbage, though, it's a chef's kiss of how bad live actions can get. I don't think anything can get this bad. What makes everything about this so bad is that none of these characters are none of these characters. Goku is not even Goku. Piccolo's not even Piccolo. Oh man. Sony straight. The voice of Krillin don't like Dragon Ball Evolution. None of them did. None of the cast of Dragon Balls Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z liked Dragon Ball Evolution. No one did. It's kind of sad, but it's the real truth. Gantz. Oh man, this live action for Gantz is so corny, but I've only seen clips and I haven't seen the movie. So there goes that. Chihayafuru, I have yet to see this one, if I'm being honest. The Psychic Life of Pi. This is a D tier as well. Well, actually this is a C tier. If somebody puts this on, I wouldn't mind watching it, but a lot of the jokes do not land as well in this live action compared to the anime. But when they do land, it sticks a little bit. So this is fine, I guess. I wouldn't mind. Old boy. Okay. This is a bias here. God dang it. This is definitely a B. This is an A tier. For me, honestly. So I need to explain about Old Boy. Old Boy is actually a very interesting case here. I would not really consider this a live action adaptation. This is more so of a reimagining of a manga. So Old Boy was actually not made in Japan. This is a live action that was made in South Korea. And I forgot the director's name, but the director took a more realistic, dark approach to Old Boy. And honestly, some of the stuff in the material of the manga got changed into this live action, obviously. Just like most of these live actions here. But I'm going to be honest though, the overall delivery is actually very solid. This is a like between A and B tier. I'm going to say this is a lower A tier. And I know everybody always talks about the hallway fight scene for Old Boy, but it's not really that puts it on the A list. It's just that it's a very solid movie all around. Now granted, I will consider this more of a reimagining of the manga rather than an actual adaptation. So take that what you will, but I will not put this in C tier. It's a pretty solid South Korean live action adaptation. And yes, everybody, not all live action adaptations are either they're not all in Japan or in the Western countries. Sometimes it's in their own, Asia countries as well, such as South Korea. Very solid movie though. Death Note. I don't know which Death Note is this. I'm gonna put all the Death Notes on D tier, man. So I'm gonna do that right now, actually. Put all these Death Notes in D tier. I feel bad because a lot of these live actions for Death Note, they did not do well. They just did okay. I will not say good, but I'm gonna put the Japanese live actions for Death Note in D tier. And then, Fist of the North Star, I have not seen this. I didn't even know there was a live action for that. That's interesting. Lady Snowblood, I have yet to see this. I have not heard this until today, so some of these I'm not too familiar with. This one, I don't know what this one is. This came out in 2014. So this is like 2 years before Nichiro Days. I don't know what this is though. I can't... Bokuwa... I don't know. Sukanai. This is a live action of Bokuwa Todomachi ga Sukanai? Oh my gosh. I did not even know they had a live action. That's interesting. Okay, yeah, that's right. I can read the kanji now. Bokuwa Todomachi ga Sukanai. So, I did not know this had a live action. That is interesting. God, this looks so bad already though. But let's move on. Dragon Ball. This is the Japanese one, right? I don't know what this is. I haven't seen this though. First time I've seen this. Fist of the North Star. I have yet to see this. This is the Western one. Yeah. Cutie Honey. I have yet to see this. First time I heard about this. This is City Hunter, I think. Is this City Hunter? I don't really know. The Guyver. Have yet to see this. Devilman? Oh man. This is... I don't think many people have seen Devilman, but this is like a bad enjoyable movie, but it's not like enjoyable garbage doo-doo like Dragon Ball Evolution. It's somewhere between D and C. I feel like when there's actual Devilman scenes, it's actually very solid. Sometimes, let me quote you on that. Because this is a Japanese movie, I believe. I haven't really watched this movie though, but I have seen most of the clips. This one's kind of hard to rate. I'm just gonna leave Devilman here for now. But note that I will change my mind later about this. We just kind of had to wait and see. City Hunter, again. I'm gonna put this on haven't seen. City Hunter has so many live action shows and movie adaptations, it's ridiculous, believe it or not. There's even a South Korean version of City Hunter. This is F tier, by the way, guys. So this right here, if you can't see, is the Netflix live action Death Note. So this right here is one of the worst. This is bad, it's F tier. The only thing that they have in it that I like was Ryuk, voiced by William Dafoe, but other than that, that couldn't save this series for the love of its life. It's bad. Attack on Titan, the second half. This is an F tier. This is kind of sad to say, but the live action Attack on Titan is bad. Both of the movies are bad. The first part and the second part is awful. But there goes that. Ping Pong's anime is very solid, but I have yet to see the live action, so there goes that. Rurouni Kenshin. The first movie is an S tier, without a doubt. You can't change my mind on that. Like, this first movie is solid S tier for Rurouni Kenshin. Rurouni Kenshin, baby! Even though the sequels are not... Even the sequels are good, but they're not as strong as the first one in my personal opinion. I think the first one took more of an emphasis focusing on the characters, which is what I like more. But the second and third one are good as well. They focus a lot more on the actions, so you're free to take that as what you wish, I guess. Initial D. This is a C tier movie. It's just a racing. This is just a racing anime. Initial D's anime is S tier though. The first season, it is a solid S tier. For certain. The live action is okay. It's just okay, guys. This Yashiki. Oh, Inuyashiki. Oh boy. I don't think anyone watches... Inuyashiki is so corny in the right ways. This is an A tier, man. I love this. I love this live action. Inuyashiki is legit a story about an old man with a miserable life. His family pretty much is distant from him. Like, they don't really like him, to be honest. His life at work is hell. And then he recognizes he has cancer. And to top it off, to top everything off, like, his life is just going downhill. And then one day, like, when he's at the park, aliens accidentally crash land on Earth and kills him and another stranger. So the aliens' idea to hide themselves, to make it not noticeable for humans, is to turn those two humans they crashed into actual cyborgs. And man, so the main character is actually the 50-year-old dude. And like, this is such a... This might be a guilty pleasure. That opening smacks so hard. The anime opening is S tier. It is... If you have not seen Inuyashiki's anime, please watch it. It came out in 2017. The opening is by Man with Mission, and it is... Oh man. This is a solid A tier movie. Like, it's corny, but it's done right. Oh, I love Inuyashiki, man. Cash Earn. I have yet to see this series. Azumi 2. This is a C tier. The first Azumi is actually A tier though, guys, if you haven't seen it yet. This is Bleach. This is C tier. It's okay. I would not watch... Allow me to explain myself real quick. So when it comes to Bleach's live action, the actors are actually very decent, which is a good thing. Now, excuse myself. The only reason why it's not B tier is because I personally would not rewatch this movie, but if somebody puts it on, then I'm fine with it, I guess. Gantz. I have yet to see this one. Gintama. Gintama's live action is not as good as the anime. It falls really flat. And to be fair, I want to put this as on haven't seen because I've only seen the majority of the clips. So essentially, I saw the movie through clips, but I haven't seen the movie as a whole. Zinda, I don't know what that is. This is the Western version of Oldboy. This is an F tier. Solid F tier. I would not rewatch this again. I feel so bad. No offense, Thanos, but I'm not a big fan of your acting for Oldboy. So for those who are wondering, this Oldboy here is not the same as this Oldboy up here. This is the Korean adaptation. This is the American adaptation. And this version of Oldboy is played by Josh Brolin, aka Thanos from Marvel. It is not a good it's not good. Just put it that way. Rurouni Kenshin. This is also GOAT. I'm just gonna put these three as GOAT tiers because just save us the time. The reason why these are S tier is because it's not very hard to actually adapt from the manga and the anime because this is a historical action piece essentially. So since it's set in Japan, the tone and the nature is pretty much, it comes more naturally compared to the rest of these here. But yeah, that's just my personal bias, guys. I really do think that the Rurouni Kenshin movies are good. The action sequences are solid too, by the way. The stunt coordinator needs to get a raise from what they've done. The Guyver 2, I have yet to see this. Oh my god, Terraformers is enjoyable garbage doo-doo. I personally think the Terraformers live action is bad, but like it is enjoyable bad. You will get some laughs out of this, man. This is garbage, but in a good way, guys. I think everybody can enjoy this at least to an extent. G Savior, the movie. I have yet to see this. The first Attack on Titan live action part, I'm going to put this as F tier as well. I'm not a big fan of these Attack on Titan live actions because I think the only character I liked was Sanji. But, like, everybody else is like, F tier almost. No. And there's no Captain Levi, by the way. Captain Levi is not in this live action movie at all. He's not even a character mentioned. He's not even a character in the cast or in the script. It's just bad. Animal World, I have yet to see this. City Hunter by Jackie Chan. I have seen this as a kid. This is a C tier. This is kind of funny, but there's this one cool car scene in this City Hunter movie by Jackie Chan where like an actual stunt person is driving a car, ramming down buildings and stuff, going down a hill. Like, it is one of the most amazing stunt. Like, it's one of the craziest stunts I've ever seen in a, like, live action. Actually, I probably would put this at B tier, but it's been a while, but I'm sticking with C tier for this, though. Jackie Chan's City Hunter is actually a decent movie. It's not horrible, it's decent, actually. Adapting from the original source material, though, it doesn't necessarily follow the source material. It borrows elements, but this is another case where I put it with Oldboy. It's not necessarily an adaptation. It's more so of a reimagining, to be honest. Same thing with this Oldboy here. But let us continue. Rikyo. I have yet to see this. I don't know what this is. I can't read it. It's too small. So I'm going to pass on that. Q-Tony, pass. I haven't yet to see this. Lady Snowblood, I have yet to see this. Rurouni Kenshin, the finale, I have yet to see this last one here. The Day After Tomorrow. This is an A tier movie. But, guys, I'm going to be honest. This is another situation of Oldboy and Jackie Chan here with his City Hunter. This is more so of a reimagining and adapting from some bits of the source material, not necessarily adapting from the source material in itself. And I feel like this is actually a very solid movie. Like, I really recommend people to watch this as well. And this movie has a lot of rewatchability as well, man. Tom Cruise does a great job in this movie. Like, it's kind of funny, Tom Cruise, but oh, man, what a solid movie, though. Definitely worth rewatching. Probably rewatch it sometime in the future. Ghost in the Shell, this is a C tier movie, like the last time. Ghost in the Shell is not a horrible movie. It has better acting than these down here, if I'm being honest. Because these are all professional actors, obviously, because it's Hollywood. Hollywood only gets the best actors, right? But the only problem I have about Ghost in the Shell is that it borrows the main source material, but not necessarily the characters to an extent. I feel like the characters are kind of cut off, but then again, it's a movie. You can't put everything in. But at the same time, you can't adapt from the movie and the anime movie in itself, because then it'll be too much of a one-on-one. So it only makes sense to change it up a little bit. But overall, though, this is a C tier. I wouldn't rewatch, I would not rewatch this, but if it was on TV or if somebody put it on, I wouldn't mind watching it then. But in general, though, I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. Kiseju. Oh man, Kiseju the maximum. This is a D tier. Like, I actually do not like Parasite's live action. Kiseju, oh man. For those who don't know, Kiseju was an anime that came out in 2013, 2014, actually, now that I think about it. And it got a live action adaptation, I believe 2015-ish. And this live action is not good. So the main character, I forgot the main character's name. He plays Shinichi. He does a fine job. But I feel like the tone of Kiseju does not go well. I think it works better in anime format because you can't really capture the the atmosphere. Like, you can't. It's fine, but the actors kind of fall flat. And I want to clarify this real quick when it comes to Kiseju. Unlike the rest of these here, where most of the actors are either not that great or bad, Parasite's actors, some of them are actually very solid. Some of them are actually pretty well-known actors. It's just a case of the overall execution isn't really there. I personally would not go on my way to watch it, and if it came on TV, I would kind of turn it off, to be honest. And the reason for saying that is because the CGI looks... it looks pretty bad, the CGI, so that's why I put it at D tier. But if the CGI was solid and acting was a little bit better, especially for the actor for Shinichi, definitely C tier. Now, granted, I forgot this guy's name who plays as Shinichi here, but his interpretation of Shinichi is kind of the same but different. And this is the second half for Kiseju. This is also a D tier. Bebop High School. I have not seen this yet, so I have yet to see this one too. The Drifting, have yet to see this. I have yet to see these. Okay. Let's see. Baby, I have yet to see these. So the Lone Wolf and Cub, I have yet to see these. I have yet to see this too. So Future Cops I have yet to see. Bide or Die. This one I've only seen clips, but I haven't actually seen this movie yet. Netflix's Erased. This one is actually B tier, I think. God, now that... Okay, hold up. I'm rethinking this now when it comes to this Erased. Erased's live action, it's okay. I would rewatch some of the scenes again, actually. If I'm guilty of that. I'll admit, I rewatched some of the scenes, which is embarrassing to say, but it's not bad, but it's not super rewatchable. But sometimes it is, though, depending on how you're feeling. If I want to feel depressed, I'll probably rewatch this Erase. But I think this is about it, though, guys, for this tier list. A lot. But now One Piece. Now let's talk about One Piece now. The live action for One Piece will go somewhere between B and A tier. Because I would rewatch some of the episodes, but I don't know if I rewatch all of it. If I feel like it, probably, but I'm gonna put it at like a low A to a high B. So that's where One Piece would go if I was to actually put this on here. Other live actions that was not in this, such as Kumo no Totake. Kumo no Totake's live action, I will probably put as C tier. It's a decent romance series for the live action, but I wouldn't go out of my way to rewatch it unless somebody puts it on. Great Teacher Onizuka, the live action, is a B tier. I will rewatch that once in a while. And then Nijiro Days or Rainbow Days. I'm not a fan of that live action, but the acting is more solid than these here in my personal bias. So it'll probably either be a high D to a low C if they have Nijiro days on here, that is, which they don't. But surprised they didn't include Nijiro days, but hey, you do you, I guess. And then what else? What other live action they have? Kagegurui also got a live action as well. If I had to put Kagegurui on here for the live action, it will be a D tier probably, because I don't really like the acting in there. The actors are not that great, no offense, but don't take that personally. What else? There's that one romance manga that got a live action as well in 2017, I believe, which they starred Iwata Takanori on there. That's would definitely go on C tier. Ore Monogatari. Ore Monogatari for me is C tier. Like, don't get me wrong, I think the acting is fine. It's not garbage like D tier here. These are pretty bad acting. Like, I could give an excuse why these acting is bad. But yeah, Ore Monogatari definitely a C tier. I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to rewatch it if I'm being completely honest, because I feel like it's just fine. But if it came on TV and I had nothing to do, fine, I'll just watch it because why not? What other live actions are there that I have seen? There's actually quite a bit. Maybe if we put the South Korean version of City Hunter, it'll be like a C and B tier. And what else should we have? King's Game. So when it comes to King's Game, I will put King's Game as a solid F tier. King's Game live action is pretty bad. Well, actually, it's D tier. I take that back. It's not as bad as these here, but it's not as good either. I still hate King's Game, but the live action, D tier. What else? Alice in Borderland. Alice in Borderland is solid B tier. Actually, it's probably A tier. If Alice in Borderland was on this list, either A or B. It's a very solid show. I need to watch season 2, actually. I'm not caught up on it yet for the Netflix season 2 for Alice in Borderland, but it's pretty solid all around, though. What else do we have? Zom 100, the live action, I have yet to see, so that will go on haven't seen yet, along with all of these here. There's still a lot of other live actions that I have yet to see, and a lot I have seen that are either Japan exclusive or only Asia exclusives, which kind of sucks because you will never get it in the West. So for Europe, UK, Australia, Canada, and the US, we will probably never see the majority of these movies here, unless you go to an Asian theater, such as like Korea, Taiwan, or somewhere around there. But I've seen a lot of these. I don't know why they don't have the first Azumi. The first Azumi movie, if they did have it on this list, will be A tier. The first Azumi movie is actually very solid. Like, very solid. A tier. Aya Ueto is a great actor. She even married Exile Hero from the guy in charge of the Exile family, that K-pop, the J-pop group. Really great dancer, by the way, that guy. But yeah, that's really all I can think of as of now. There probably are more live actions that I forgot or I can't think of as of now, but that's currently where I stand. Like, the live action One Piece is fine, and it does have rewatchability, so it's somewhere between B+ to A-. It's somewhere, just say it's between these two tiers here. Excuse myself. Now, allow me to re-clarify this tier list. So S tier is the GOAT. These are movies I can rewatch over and over and over again and just never get bored because they have something going for them. Like, these are great. Like, they hold up over time no matter what. A tier. These are great movies that I would rewatch often or rewatch, quite frequently. So these three here, along with probably the One Piece and some of the other series I've mentioned that I forgot to put on here maybe, or that this list doesn't have. Then there are B tier. So B tier is pretty much movies that I would rewatch once in a while on a whim, but I wouldn't necessarily rewatch it on a regular basis, if you get where I'm coming from. But they're still great to rewatch when you do rewatch them, though, and they'll hold up either decent or fairly well. And then this is where a lot of the movies went, C tier. So my explanation for C tier is this. These are movies I will not rewatch or watch again unless somebody puts it on, or unless it just came on TV or something of the sort, which then I wouldn't mind. So if I go to a friend's house and they put on, for example, Alita Battle Angel or Ghost in the Shell or Bakuman or something, then I wouldn't mind watching it with them, but I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to actually watch it. And Marco, Ore Monogatari would go on C tier. I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it, but if somebody put it on, I wouldn't mind. And then there's this D tier. D tier is essentially bad actors in a mediocre movie, which kind of drags it down. Kingdom, I'm not gonna lie, I think Kingdom is a C tier, but some of the acting is not that great, man, if I'm being completely honest. Because they focus a lot on the seinen, aka the war scenes. And I don't even know if I would call this more of acting or more of action at this point for this movie. But it is what it is. I do not like Orange, the live action. I really don't like it. I think the character interactions don't quite make sense. And some of the choices that the director made, I don't know who the director is, but the acting, some of it falls flat. Sometimes it actually does stick, though. I'll give credit where credit is due. Sometimes the romance actually sticks, but a lot of it, no. This is a solid D tier. Black Butler, I really just think that everything falls flat. Like, it's, and the plot itself is mediocre, if I'm being completely honest here. Death Note is the same. These actors, man, oh man, it's sometimes it's either corny or bad. So pick your poison. Do you like it when it's corny, or do you like it when it's bad? Like, if I'm being honest, very rarely some scenes will actually stick to me. Like, it's good, but most of the times it's not that great, if I'm being honest. And I think that's why nobody really mentions the Death Note live action series, even the sequels and the spin-offs, because they don't really land as great. And then there's Parasite, which is just mediocre overall. God dang it, Parasite. I think Parasite is probably the better bunch of these D tiers here. And then F tier is all of these here, which is self-explanatory. I don't even need to explain why these are F tier. These are just, I will not rewatch these. Now, Freeman, Mark Dacascos is an amazing, he's an amazing stuntman and an amazing actor. But I personally like him better on Iron Chef than actually in movies. Which is, quite a biased take. No offense. And then this is enjoyable due to garbage. This is the worst of the worst, but they're enjoyably bad. Like, I can actually enjoy this. So, don't hate me for making this tier list, guys. This is just my personal taste, I guess. Now, I want to make something clear, though. I think if my selection of what I've seen for live actions was smaller, I think a lot of these C tier movies will be either B tier or A tier, if I'm being completely honest. But what makes it different for me is that I've seen so many live action movies at this point, even some of the Japanese exclusive ones, to where like my, how should I say it? My range, I guess, or my variety that I've seen is much more expansive than most others. So I think that's why this list is the way it is. But to be fair though, if it was if my selection was smaller, then this list would be so different. So my personal bias really comes more from me seeing it more overall compared to most people. Because I know a lot of people say that One Piece is the one to break the curse of bad live-action adaptations, but I actually disagree with that. Because, like, there already has been live-action movies that were good. It's just that they're in Japan, and they're exclusive only to Asia, for the most part, for some places. And they never came to any of the Western countries, including the UK, US, Canada, Australia, and Europe. So, most of us has never seen most of these live actions here. So this is why my tier list is the way it is because I've seen a much more broader variety of live actions overall than most people. But hey, I still need to watch all of these haven't seen yet because all of these I have yet to see. Which honestly, they don't look interesting enough for me to invest my time into, if I'm being honest, guys. But yeah, though. One Piece will be somewhere between A and B tier, for me personally. The first Azumi movie will be A tier, Kimi no Todoke will be B, C tier. Who is better actor for GTO? Akira or the other guy? You gotta be more specific here, Marco. Because Akira and the other guy, those names, Akira is such a vast... that's such a common name in Japan. And then the other guy. Who's the other guy? You got to be more specific here, Marco. Because, like, when it comes to actors, man, I'll be honest, I don't know. I really do not know a lot of Japanese actors. Because, like I stated, a lot of these Japanese movies, the reason why their live actions are not that good is because they keep hiring people who are not necessarily actor-focused people into their cast. So, all of these live actions here that are Japanese live actions that are not that great, such as the Death Note movies, Orange, Black Butler, and whatnot, like these are mostly either models or they come from another line of work and they just somehow stumbled into acting. Like, look at Black Butler. The reason why the Black Butler live action movie was not that great in Japan was because they hired a fashion model to play as Sebastian. His acting was not that great. That's why, like, you kind of had to ask the Japanese person to understand this situation here. And they keep doing this even to this day, which drives me nuts. Oh, man. Gomenasai. Like, I apologize if I'm being mean, but it's just the honest truth. Finding actual actors is, like, or newbie actors to play anime characters is very difficult. Akira was second and third part. Akira the singer. Sorry, I'm not too familiar, Marco. If I don't sound, I'm being honest, I don't really, it doesn't ring a bell. If I'm being honest. But this is where my live action list stands though. And a lot of these are not on here, by the way, guys. So this is the best way to put it as of now. But for those who are wondering though, One Piece live action is A and B tier. Simple as that. And the other guy is Takashi Soramashi. Oh, the guy. Okay, that guy. So sorry, I had to search him up for a little bit because I was getting lost in the sauce. But Takashi Soramashi, I thought he was fine, I guess. If I'm being honest, I thought the actual live action adaptation for Great Teacher Onizuka was actually relatively good. It is a B tier. I can rewatch that once in a while without an issue. Now let us jump into One Piece because I think everybody wants me to rank One Piece again. I don't know why, but whatever, I guess. I guess this is the next. This is the last one of the day, guys, before I gotta get going. But since we're talking about One Piece's live action, I guess it's only fitting to actually end this off of ranking the One Piece arcs, that is. So, god dang, let us do this. I've done this in the past, guys. So, a very long time ago, I posted a video, actually, or a live stream of this tier list. Now, luckily, this one is updated now. So, there goes that. So let us start. The first arc is... What about Gintama? Like I stated, Gintama is somewhere between D and C for me when it comes to the live action Marco. Because some of the characters on there falls flat. Like, really flat. Hold up, let's add another... Okay, there it goes. Now we have it. Alright, guys. Yeah, Gintama's live action. Gintama's live action to me is a C and D tier. The comedy doesn't work as well in the live action compared to the anime. If you don't believe me, go watch it. That is the best way to tell you guys, for those who haven't seen the Gintama live action. It doesn't work as well in the live action, but we're going to start off with Romance Dawn here, guys, when it comes to this One Piece tier list. So, Romance, there are 2 movies. Yeah, I know, but both of them, though, in general, for Gintama's live action, to me, is C to D tier. I know I sound biased, but I think it's better to watch it, and you'll kind of understand why. It's not terrible, but it's kind of offbeat. But anyhow, though, C tier for the first arc, Romance Dawn. And let us continue on from here, guys. These are not in order. Oh my gosh. Not to mention, I forgot which orders in which order. Alright. Zoe, Marine Rookie, Reverie, Worship, Honor, Versmap, Uta's Pass. Okay, that's before that. That's before that. Before that. Baratier. Cedric Guild. This. Lana Wano. Here. Reverie takes place right before that. Punk Hazard is before Reverie. And Cedric Guild somewhere between here. I think somewhere like that. And then Whole Cake Island is right before... Of course you can't compare. It was funny as heck. Obviously, I know I sound kind of biased, but Gintama's live action, if I'm being completely honest, isn't great. But I wouldn't say it's god-awful either. It's not awful. It's just not great. Baratier is Zoe. Zoe was before Whole Cake Island, obviously. Silvermine... This one was after... Dressrosa's, right? Dressrosa was right before Silvermine. Caesar's Retrieval. This is like right after Punk Hazard, actually, I think. Sierra Village, Baratier. Z's Ambition. This is a filler arc. I'm just gonna put this here. I believe Z's Ambition was a filler arc. Sorry, guys. Fishman Island, this is... Like... Where is it? Here. Worship Island is actually... This is after... Yeah, this is after Loketown. Sorry, guys. I'm going to organize this first before I start ranking these, because this is just to save us time. This is post-war, so... That's the post-war... Yeah. There it goes. Post-war, and then return to Sabaody. There it goes. Marineford is right before post-war, obviously. Little East Blue, this is a filler arc. So, One Piece does not have much filler arcs, so I'm just going to put all the filler arcs between here, I guess. Impel Down is right before Marineford, without a doubt. Straw Hat Separation, this is like right at Impel Down. Amazon Lily is like right between the mix, almost. These three happen right about the same time, if I think about it. Okay. Baratier, Sabado Archipelago. This is like right before Straw Hat Separation. Orange Town, that's pretty much the second arc here. Spa Island, this is actually a filler arc as well. I'm gonna throw this one here. The little bark is like right here, I guess, for now. Ice Hunter, this is also a filler arc. Post Enia's Lobby, so this is like right here before Thriller Bark, I guess. I believe this is also a filler arc as well. I could be wrong, but Enia's Lobby. There's Water 7. Foxy's Return, this is also a filler arc that happened right before Water 7. Ocean's Dream is like right between Warship Island and whatnot. These two are filler arcs, by the way. Long Ring, Long Road. This is right before Foxy's Return, actually. Okay. G8 is right before Long Ring, Long Road as well, I believe. Skypia is right before G8. Jaya is the same. Rainbow Mist is a filler arc as well. This is for the movie. I'm gonna leave that as is, actually. Alabasta. Goat's Island is like right after Buggy's Crew adventure, I believe. There's Alabasta. There's Drum Island. There's a Little Garden. And then you have, I think, Whiskey Peak. Diary of Kobe Mappo, this is a filler arc as well. I forgot where this goes. But anyhow, though, I guess we'll rank this as of here for now. So allow me to give you my personal thoughts on these arcs. Let's start off with the filler arcs. Let's make a list for that, actually. Well, actually, I take that back. Let's delete this row. Rainbow Mist is a boring... This is a boring D tier. This is the filler arc, by the way. Orange Town introduces Buggy. Now that I think about it, this is probably a high C to low B tier. Syrup Village I thought was very solid, man. This is a B tier arc. So Syrup Village introduces Curl, Captain Curl. Like, he's even in the live action. I actually like him in the live action. I thought the live action did him justice, which was pretty interesting to say. This is a very solid arc. And it introduces Usopp, which is awesome. Baratier is a solid A tier. I love this arc in the anime. Like, they introduced Don Krieg, which literally... He's literally just a Cerulege in Pokemon, if you think about it. He wears the exact same look and armor as Cerulege in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Don Krieg is a joke, and they introduced Mihawk as well. Mihawk is an amazing character, by the way. Very solid character. Like, and they introduced Sanji as well. This is an A tier arc. I love Baratier. Arlong Park is S tier. That is just... No questions, hands down, S tier arc. Arlong, like, he's like, they built him up as this, like, he's built up as like this intimidating villain. And that scene with Nami when she asks Luffy for help, oh my god. And they play Overtaken, the OST, S tier. That is S tier without a doubt. Buggy's Crew Adventure is D tier. This is actually a filler arc, I believe. So, Diary of Kobe Mappo, I believe this is also a filler arc, but I'll put this at D tier as well. I want to say this right now, a lot of the filler arcs I'll put in D tier because they're not canon. I wouldn't say they're bad, because I think G8 is a solid filler arc, for example. But most of the filler arcs are just kind of there, I guess. Goat's Island, this is actually a wholesome arc. I think this is also a filler arc, but essentially, Goat Island is essentially not giving up on your dreams. Like, this old guy here, I forgot what's his name, literally starts a pirate crew with his goats and sheep and whatnot. This is a C tier. It's just wholesome. Like, it's just very wholesome, man. Loketown is B tier. I love Loketown. Loketown introduces Smokey. Like his devil fruit is so interesting in my personal opinion. And not to mention, like, they also introduces Monkey D. Dragon as well, which was like I thought was nice. Like it's an overall nice arc for Loketown. This is a solid B tier. Reverse Mountain. This is also a B tier. Laboon. I don't know. I love Laboon, man, and especially with the backstory of Laboon and whatnot. It's just so touching. Like I love the backstory of Laboon. Honestly, he's still waiting there too. It is a wholesome story. Ocean's Dream is a filler arc, believe it or not. But actually, this is a C tier. This is probably the only arc where you'll ever see Luffy and Zoro having a fight. Like, even though it's a filler arc, I think that's the only scenario where you'll see those two go at it. But I'll leave this as C tier for now. Probably put this to D tier later. Like I stated, guys, a lot of these D tiers right here that you're seeing, a lot of them are filler arcs. But let us continue. Whiskey Peak. I guess this is more into Crocodile and whatnot. Like, Whiskey Peak was not a long arc. This is probably a C tier. I don't think it's a horrible arc. It's just kind of there. Little Garden is actually... It's kind of funny to say this. I thought Little Garden was a funny arc. It's enjoyable. Like, you get to see the giants and whatnot. Yeah, I love Little Garden. It's an emotional, fun ride, I guess. Drum Island is easily A tier. Like, it is almost S tier, man. You are so harsh with some series. You have to remember, guys, I'm not harsh on series. I try not to be, guys. I just give my personal opinions. Because, like, you kind of look at it from the overall perspective. You know? But you're free to take it what you will, I guess. But Drum Island, though, this is a solid A tier, though. The story of Chopper and whatnot, amazing series. Worship Island is a filler arc. I'm gonna put this at D tier. Like I stated, guys, filler arcs I'm gonna put at D tier for now because they're not really canon. Alabasta, to me, was an S. This is gonna be kind of a biased take. I really think Alabasta is an S tier arc. People will put it between A tier most of the times, but I think it's an S tier arc. I actually like it a lot. Luffy's fight with Crocodile and whatnot. Well, no, actually, I'm gonna put this as a high A tier. Something like here, I guess. If I had to give it a little bit of criticism, I feel like some things drag on a little bit long if I think about it now. But when it comes to the action sequences and some of the fighting scenes, I really think it lands really well. Post Alabasta, so this is actually another filler arc. A lot of people don't know that, but Post Alabasta is a 2 to 3 episode filler arc. So I'm gonna leave this one at D tier for now. I may come back to these filler arcs later. Jaya is okay. Well, actually, this is a high B tier. I just like it when Luffy just punches him down on the ground because he's a total freaking jerk. Oh man, I really do like Jaya now that I think about it. And they introduced Blackbeard as well, which was interesting. Now we have Skypiea. Oh boy. Skypiea to me is an A tier arc. This story arc here, I think the biggest problem with Skypiea sometimes is that some of the scenes where Luffy kind of drags until the very end. But once they get down to it, it really pays out though. But it does take a while for Skypiea to get good, but I think Skypiea is probably close to peak One Piece. Then there's G8. G8, this is actually another filler arc. But this one here's a B tier. This is probably my favorite filler arc in One Piece. It is goofy and funny at the same time. It is actually enjoyable. Long Green Long Island. This is my least favorite arc. This is a D tier, man. I really don't. This is a canon arc, by the way, so this is not a filler arc. But I just don't really enjoy this arc. I guess it's more so of just to have fun, I guess. But I was not a big fan of Foxy, because Foxy to me is a boring character. Foxy's Return. This is actually a filler arc, I think, and this is an F tier. I'm not a fan of Foxy's Return. Although it was short, I don't enjoy it. Water 7 introduces Frankie. This is the S tier. I mean, A tier, my bad. So Water 7 introduces Frankie, and it also introduces Cypher Pole and some awesome characters. It is high A tier. The next arc, however, S tier. You can fight me. I really think Enies Lobby is like one of the most peak moments in One Piece. Probably the most peak moment in One Piece. It has everything in it. There's character motivations, character developments. Like, there's just so much going on. It's awesome. Not to mention Gear Second or Second Gear for Luffy. That scene is so awesome, man. And it goes down in history as one of the most iconic anime moments of all time. Post Enies Lobby, this is a C tier. It's alright, I guess. Post Enies Lobby is more so just chilling, I guess. And building up some things in the back. Thriller Bark is a B tier. I thought it was fine, I guess. When it comes to Thriller Bark. Thriller Bark was pretty cool because Zoro gets a new sword. You see the Nightmare Luffy, was it? I thought that was cool. You only saw that once, actually. And yeah, it was an overall fine arc, though. Sabaody Archipelago. This is a... Excuse myself. This is like a B or C tier arc. And allow me to explain why. So this arc here is not... It's a very short arc, by the way. But I will put this at B tier because it does introduce some amazing characters, such as Kumo, I believe Captain Kidd as well, if he was not already introduced, and some others. I thought this was a fine arc. The Straw Hat Separation, this is like B tier as well. I think these two goes together as one when it comes to anime arcs in One Piece, in my personal opinion. Amazon Lily. I want to say A tier so bad because of my personal bias, because I really love Boa. Boa is such an amazing... Boa is an amazing character in One Piece, but like the arc itself is fine. This is a fine arc. This is a B tier. Then we have Impel Down. Impel Down, definitely A tier for me. Or high B tier. Somewhere between there. Well, actually, I'm gonna put this at A tier because I believe this is when they introduced Jinbei. Jinbei is awesome. I love Jinbei. Impel Down is an amazing arc. Not to mention, I think that was one of the most craziest prison escapes in an anime I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of animes, guys. Marineford is S tier. You can't change my mind. Marineford is S tier. The One Piece is real. If there is one thing I love about peak action, I think Marineford is like one of those anime like arcs. Well, peak action. Oh man, Whitebeard is such an amazing character. Like this is like, oh man, there's just so much going on in Marineford. If you haven't watched One Piece yet, I feel bad for you because this arc is like, this is like the most defining arc in the entire One Piece anime, because this arc will define Luffy and legit pretty much the entire world of One Piece. Oh man, this is why I love One Piece so much. It starts off as like a little ripple in a puddle, and then it transpires into an ocean wave almost. Post-war, this is an average arc. I thought it was okay. So post-war is very short. It's only about a few episodes. And basically, it's just Luffy coming to grip with everything that has happened. So, I actually think this is a B tier arc. Return to Sabaody. This is time skip now. I actually thought this arc was okay. It's very short, obviously, but it's a really decent arc overall, though. Fishman Island, I was not a fan of Fishman Island. Like, because first of all, Sanji losing too much blood because of a nosebleed is ridiculous to me. Like, although it's in his character, I just thought the concept of that is just ridiculous. And then, like, well, actually, the action sequences was cool, though. But this is somewhere between B and C. I'll put this at low B for now. Punk Hazard, it was okay, I guess. They introduced us to Caesar. Yeah, okay, here's the thing. Post-war arc features Ace, Sabo, and Luffy's backstory. That is true. I agree with that. And it also gives reason as to why, you know, Ace, Luffy, and whatnot happen the way they are. But you have to understand that at the same time, though, like, I wouldn't necessarily say it's, like, one of the greatest arcs. Because A tier will be kind of high, honestly. Because One Piece has a lot of arcs here. Like, we're only about halfway in. So I have to be as fair as possible, because if I put post-war on like A tier, then a lot of these will probably go up a notch, and it really wouldn't be fair on my part. But overall, though, Punk Hazard, B tier though. Caesar Retrieval, I think this is a filler arc. I was not a fan of this arc. This is a C tier. I'll put this at D tier, man. I do not like Caesar's Retrieval. I thought this was a boring arc. Like, they need to do something with Caesar, fine. I understand, but the overall arc itself is very short. Marine Rookie's a D tier. Z's Ambition's a D tier. CJ Guild. So the reason why I'm putting these three here on D tier is because these three here are, I believe, they're filler arcs. I'm not too certain about Z's Ambition now that I think about it, but I do know Marine Rookie and CJ Guild are filler arcs. So CJ Guild was basically made for the movie, by the way. So this filler episode here was a promotion for the movie. Spot Island is also a filler arc, so I'm just gonna leave that there. Ice Hunter is a filler arc as well. I'm gonna leave that there. Little East Blue is also a filler arc. This is a introductory to a movie. So a lot of people don't know, but a lot of these D tiers that we have here are most are filler arcs. Uta's Pass is actually very solid. This is a B tier. This is another filler. Uta's Pass is canon as well. It's canon and filler at the same time. It's kind of strange to put that. But this is a solid B tier, though. I actually like Uta's Pass. I thought it was solid. Reverie, this more so focuses on dialogue, so I'm gonna put this as C tier. Dressrosa's S tier. Changed my mind. One Piece movies and specials are now on Netflix. Not all of them. I don't think all of them are. Only some of them. If I'm not mistaken, that is. But Dressrosa, this is, in my opinion, S tier. And probably one of the most peak moments in One Piece. Especially with Gear 4th, or 4th Gear. Oh man, that is such an amazing scene. And the opening they chose for this, opening 18, Hard Knock Days by Generations from Exile Tribe. That opening theme slaps so hard, man. But yeah. Silvermine, this is a boring arc. This is a C tier arc, by the way. It does have that one cool scene, but C tier. Zoe is B tier. Whole Cake Island is A tier. This is an A tier arc, man. I love what they did with Sanji's backstory. Like, I literally thought it was so solid, man. I feel for the man. And I'm gonna be honest, up until then, like the only backstory you had with Sanji until then was legit just, you know, the whole thing with Baratier and whatnot, and his backstory getting stranded on an island with that one guy, right? What's his name? But Whole Cake Island put a whole new depth onto Sanji, saved that man. Like, I really love his character arc in Whole Cake Island. It is so satisfying. I love it a lot. This is an A tier. Probably S tier, but I don't want to be too biased. Not to mention Mochi. Like, a lot of cool characters in Whole Cake Island, man. Land of Wano's S tier. There's no question about that. Like, Land of Wano is such a solid S tier. Even though the final battle with Kaido is somewhat disappointing, the overall arc is just amazing. I don't know how to put it. Whole Cake Island arc made me hungry. I mean, hey, I can see that, but I really do like Land of Wano though. Like as an S tier. Excuse myself. Whole Cake Island is A tier, close to S. Like, if I'm being honest, Whole Cake Island is between S and A tier. But this is probably where I currently stand as of now for my my new One Piece yearly updated list of my tiers. Or my tier rankings, I guess. So, let us recap this and then I'll get ready and call it a day. So for S tier, we have Arlong Park, Enies Lobby, Marineford, Dressrosa, and Land of Wando. Actually, let's go backwards from F tier. So F tier to me is Foxy's Return. The only reason why I don't really have Foxy's Return any higher is because they don't really do anything with Foxy after this. And although his character does get brief mentioning, I believe, in the future, they don't really do anything with it. D tier, I only put most of the most of the filler arcs on here because they're not interesting. Now granted, there's only a few good arcs that are fillers, but I'll get into that later. Long Ring, Long Island. This one here is not. This is actually a canon arc, but it feels like a filler to me. Now onto C tier. We have Reverie. This is a dialogue exposition arc, to be honest. Post Enies Lobby. This is also a filler arc that I thought was decent. Whiskey Peak was introductory, I guess, to some characters. Orange Town introduced Buggy, which makes sense. Romance Dawn, the beginning, obviously. Gold's Island to me was wholesome, even though it is a filler arc, I think. Ocean's Dream is pretty much the only arc where you'll ever see Zoro and Luffy actually have a battle. And then Silver Mine, the ending to Silver Mine's arc was somewhat satisfying, even though it's a filler arc. Now let's get to B tier. B tier is Jaya. I love this arc now that I think about it, especially that punch that Luffy does. You ask me if I know how to throw a punch, boom. And then they introduce Blackbeard, solid. Syrup Village introduces Usopp and Captain Kuro. Logtown, Smokey and Monkey D. Dragon. Reverse Mountain, the story of Laboon, love that story. Little Garden, introductory of the leaders of the giant tribes, I believe, which is awesome. GH is an amazing filler arc. I actually like this arc a lot. I actually still rewatch this anime arc once in a while. Thriller Bark is actually, it's okay, but when it has fun, it has fun. I actually like it when they show Nightmare Luffy. Thought that was really cool. Sabado Archipelago, this was a fine arc. Straw Hat Separation, these two go together, they're fine. Amazon Lily, I would like to put this on A tier because of Boa. I love Boa. Boa is such an amazing character. Not to mention, she's like so wholesome to Luffy. It's so cute. Like, man, they need to do more with her. Like, seriously. Post-war, yeah, it's pretty much more of backstory, I guess. Now, return to Sabado Archipelago. This is a fine arc. Fisherman Islands was okay. Punk Hazard's okay. Uta's Pass. I actually like Uta's Pass a lot. Zoe was okay. A tier. Whole Cake Island. Like I stated, Sanji's awesome. Like his backstory that is on here. Water 7 introduces Frankie, and in that battle between Usopp and Luffy, it tugs the heartstrings, man. Skypiea. People will put Skypiea on S tier, but I feel like it really takes off more towards the later half, not with the first half, if I'm being honest, which is why this is on A tier, not S, but that's just my personal bias. Alabasta is A tier. I did put it on S tier, but I took it down a notch, and I think the reason why for me is because I feel like sometimes some things would drag on a little bit, but the whole battle between Crocodile I thought was pretty awesome. Baratier is awesome. I love Baratier, man. They introduced so many things at the same time. It's awesome. Like Don Krieg getting his butt whipped. Mihawk, the battle between Zoro and Mihawk. Also introduces Sanji. It's awesome. I love Baratier. Drum Island is such a sad story, okay, guys? But when it comes to Chopper's backstory, I love Chopper. His backstory is so wholesome and sad. It's amazing. Impel Down is... okay, here's the reason why I love Impel Down a lot. Impel Down actually brings back some old characters and familiar faces again, which was an awesome thing, because like the problem with anime nowadays is that after an arc, they just kind of forget those enemies or those past antagonists. But Impel Down they bring back all of those characters again. So like Crocodile and the whole gang and whatnot. It is awesome, man. I love Impel Down. Not to mention, it is an amazing prison escape. Like, it's awesome. I'm not a raccoon dog, I'm a reindeer. Exactly. Now, on to S tier. Arlong Park, Enies Lobby, Marineford, Dressrosa, and Land of Wano. These, to me, in my opinion, are peak. Like, this is peak One Piece for these these 5 arcs here. Like, these 5 arcs legit defined One Piece and changed the direction it's heading. Like, it's awesome, man. Arlong Park is such a touching story with Nami. Enies Lobby. Oh, second gear is so awesome. And Nico Robin's backstory is so wholesome and touching. Not to mention, I love that one awesome scene where Luffy just tells Soga King to shoot down the flag, the world government flag. That scene was so awesome, man. Oh gosh, I love that scene. Like, Enies Lobby is probably one of the most like awesome arcs in One Piece when it comes to rewatchability. I still feel pretty much the same as the first time I watched it. I love it a lot. Marineford is awesome. Whitebeard. Need I say more? Like, I thought that was awesome. Dressrosa Gear 4. I thought Gear 4 was awesome, but like everything that happens in Dressrosa is awesome, man. Like, to be honest, I'm not a fan of Doflamingo. Like, even when he was first introduced, I thought he was a bit too much of a stretch. And I'm glad Luffy, kicked him down some notches, man, because I was not a big fan of Doflamingo. So to see every single punch of Gear 4 landing on Doflamingo is just so satisfying to me. Like, you guys don't understand. I really don't like Doflamingo. He gets ahead of himself a lot. Even though his backstory of his parents giving up their titles as a celestial dragon makes sense, I guess, it really doesn't justify completely his actions. He's just an evil person in general. And in Land of Wano, need I say more? The fight with Kaido, like in Gear 5, aka Joy Boy. I really do love the Wano arc. I think it's very solid. I just wish that the final conclusion between Kaido and Luffy was more epic. It's still a fine arc overall though. But anyhow though, this is my tier list for this year's One Piece redo. I guess I'll redo this every year or two to see if my opinions have changed or not. So guys, I guess we'll call this a day, because I'm getting kind of tired. I really want to go to sleep. I gotta do more stuff later. But But yeah, though, guys, thanks for watching, man. It was a really nice live stream, though. We were ranking live actions and then One Piece. So, and if I had to give the live action One Piece a ranking on the live action tier list that we did earlier, it's between A and B tier. Low A to high B. But overall, though, guys, thanks for watching. It was really nice doing a live stream with you guys because I'm busy this week. My God, I do work tomorrow and pretty much the rest of this week. So without further ado, guys, thanks for watching. I don't know exactly when I'll live stream again, but I will plan ahead of time. And when I do, I'll tell you on the Discord, in the general sections, that is. So, without further ado, guys, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and stick around. And also check out my other stuff, my other YouTube channels, such as my Tarantula work as the Kumo Sensei down below. And also join us on the Discord. Links to everything is down below. And with that, guys, that's really about it.